Look, we swear we're not following you, but sometimes tracking is just plain necessary. We're talking about record keeping. The National Organic Program, or NOP, requires that all certified operations maintain detailed records. These records must fully disclose all activities and transactions and demonstrate compliance with the regulations and be readily understood by auditors. Whether it's a notebook in the cab, your phone, or an app, or 750,000 Post-its stuck on your equipment shed wall, you'll need to follow all relevant activities in full detail so your crop can be tracked from seed to sale. Sure, everyone knows you can't party without some great records. See what I did there? But keeping sufficient records to stay in compliance with NOP regulations can be a challenge for transitioning and organic farmers. It takes a fair amount of time to stay on track and prep for an annual organic inspection, and farmers considering transitioning to organic often cite record keeping as a barrier. So, first, what records are we talking about? All new farmers will need a 3-year field history to verify the organic eligibility of each field prior to certification. All farmers need to list inputs, which includes anything you put into or onto the soil or on a plant, how much you used, when you used it, and where. You'll cover everything from pre-planting to sales with field records. You'll also have to track the crop from harvest to buyer. This is called product movement. Finally, you'll need to address contamination and commingling by documenting efforts to eliminate those risks. There is a ton to track, but stocking your stocks and creeping on your crops is going to keep things compliant and help you assess data and see what's going on in the long run. It's insight and better decision making. If we know one thing, it's that everybody loves an accountant. Let's be like those heroes and make data fun. We're not going into the how here, but we do want you to have a solid menu of options. So, what kinds of tools, apps, and supports are available? So many. Let's start with some simple spreadsheet tools. Guess what, party people? You can use Excel. Really, this means Excel, Google Sheets, or Numbers. Not that they're all versions of the same thing with slightly different annoyances or inconveniences built in. You can have an infinite number of tabs for each part of your system and can track events across time. You can even recreate all of the forms a certifier would need in Google Forms and give a larger team access to them. So anyone from an equipment operator to an agronomist to the retired on-farm fam can collectively keep records located in one place. Or if a software solution covers most, but not all bases, Google Forms can be used to track whatever the software doesn't. This is one place where non-monogamy is highly recommended. No app will ever be able to capture every little thing, especially larger picture needs like crop rotation planning, calculating seed purchases, etc. So spreadsheets become an important tool to track these things year by year and over time. It's not cheating if all of your apps know about each other. Speaking of which, that is both a computer in our pocket and we're happy to see you. Most farmers are going to have their phone on them, so why not use it? Yes, it's going to get covered in dirt and possibly fall into a vat of manure, but that's what cases and screen protectors, and totally lying to Verizon about what actually happened, are for. They were literally invented for record keeping with soil-covered hands. Seriously, look it up. Don't look it up. There are also free tools like Google Maps Timeline that you can use to track your location through time, which can help with activity tracking to have a readout of which days you were in which fields. Google Earth for field maps, time-stamped photos of activities and seed tags, Google Lens to recognize jotted notes. Okay, just give Google all your info in return for free tools. While it's not ag-specific, many farmers use QuickBooks or similar programs as well. Now that we've got that on record, I did it again. Let's look at some of the available fee-based tools. Today, we're sharing ones that are in some way purpose-built for record keeping, starting with ones that are not organic specific. Bushel Farm. This one appears to be quite popular and can connect with platforms like John Deere Operations Center and Climate Field View. Bushel Farm allows you to log field maps, scouting notes, equipment, activities and inputs, grain sales and inventories, land agreements, work orders, and more. Their most feature-rich version is $2,000 per year, which comes out to about $2,000 per year. Next, we have Agra Digital. This Australia-based company mainly tracks post-harvest data and grain management. For large operations with complex storage and contracting, this may be a good fit, but Bushel has far more record-keeping tools and can be used to track inventory and storage. Conservice is another piece of farm management software that has a focus on financial performance and very hands-on support. You can track and log field activities, purchases, inventory status, contracts, delivery, crop storage, and more. Plus, it can connect to platforms like John Deere Operations Center and Climate Field View, though with issues reported. Pricing information isn't available on their website, which, let's be real, usually means it's a more expensive option. FarmLogic has similar functionality as other systems, such as activity tracking, mapping, and scouting records, etc., with a focus on soil testing and precision fertilizer application from their own labs and with their own recommendations. However, these are definitely not organic recommendations, so always use your FarmLogic and work with an organic agronomist. You definitely see what I did there. FarmOS is an open source tool, meaning that it's co-developed by a large community of folks and anyone can access the underlying code to sculpt it to their needs. But it is for sure more function than form and probably best for DIYers who like looking under the hood of their software tools. Also, it's free, which comes to approximately $0. Crop Tracker, Tend, and FarmBright are 3 other farm management systems you may see. These are mostly built for vegetable and fruit growers, with Tend focusing on small family farms and FarmBright specializing in livestock operations. Time to throw on the next disc. Now for those that are specifically designed for the organic denizens, Cog Pro. This program has been around for a while, and its website looks it. It appears to be a kind of digital notebook, a very carefully designed spreadsheet tool with forms that populate lists and easy export tools. With the functionality of Google Forms and Google Sheets together, a farmer or advisor could create a very similar tool, but this is already done for you. The cost is relatively cheap with annual subscriptions starting at $79. Next, we have Quick Organics. This sexier version of Cog Pro was founded in 2021 by an organic farmer who wanted to share his time-tested record-keeping systems with others. Even though 2021 was 2 to 100 years ago, depending on when you're watching this. Hey, great-grandkids. As of fall 2023, it was just accessible to test drive. Finally, we've got AgriSecure, my farm platform. These folks started out as an organic consulting company with a record-keeping platform that has transitioned into mainly selling the use of the platform. In fact, another company, Peak Ag Solutions, licenses the use of the MyFarm platform and offers similar services along with agronomic consulting and land management. These are just some of the record-keeping and farm management tools available to farmers. But what about the ones that are already on a farm, integrated into equipment? These are things like John Deere Operations Center, AFS Connect, Trimble Ag, and Climate Field View. Most of these tools can log field operations that will be timestamped, GPS pinned, and often tracked and recorded, from planting to cultivation to flaming to input application to harvest. If a farmer runs one color equipment, it can have a huge upside and take care of all logging from pre-plant through harvest. But if your machine shed looks more like a Jackson Pollock, it can get a little more complicated working with multiple programs. Lots of organic inspectors see readouts from these platforms at their inspections and generally love it. These tools will also allow a user to monitor operations in real time, so you can track what multiple machines are doing and prevent them from taking over. Record keeping can be a lot of work, and it's often seen as a hurdle that may stop an organic curious grower from making the jump into transition. But good records make better farmers, and there are bins of tools available. Spend the time to find or create a system that works for your farm and pretend it's a local highway. Never stop working on it. And remember, simple is usually better, so if you're overthinking it, just take a deep breath and throw on your favorite record. Somebody stop me. Sure, every random boomer on the internet will let you know that we're making kids today soft. But on the farm, helicopter parenting is not only necessary and helpful, but required. See what I did there? Yeah, you do. So listen, DJ, let's throw these records on an app that helps us keep track of our fields.